On a recent episode of Michael Bisping's podcast, things got heated. Bisping and Paul Felder found themselves in a passionate argument about Jon Jones's recent retirement decision. Bisping didn't hold back. He's already called out Jones in other videos for not accepting a fight with Tom Aspinall, but this time he took it even further. In Bisping's eyes, Jones's legacy is stained forever. Why? Because he never fought Tom before walking away from the sport. Felder, though, had a completely different perspective. He argued that it's better for Jon Jones to be remembered as the champion who went out on top, instead of risking it all and getting knocked out in his final fight. According to Felder, it's cleaner and safer this way. Why end a legendary career with a brutal knockout that would live forever in highlight reels? Even though they had opposing views, both Bisping and Felder agreed on one thing. This is not how a true champion should retire, not with the title basically sitting in limbo, not when the interim champ is calling out for a chance, not when fans all over the world are begging for closure and clarity. Now that Jones is officially out of the picture, attention naturally shifts to what's next for Tom Aspinall. It's becoming more and more clear that his first fight as the undisputed heavyweight champion could be against Ciryl Gane. That would be a must-watch. Imagine the powerful, heavy-hitting Aspinall with elite grappling going up against Gane, the precise striker with smooth and sharp technique. It would be like watching a chess match with fists. What do you think would happen in a matchup like that? Who would come out on top?
Legacy be effect, and I think by new Johnny-come-lately fans, it will. I think more OG fans of the sport will always know what he did. But it's not a great way to end potentially the greatest career.
I guess the argument would be that if he had decided to take the Tom fight, it could have been his legacy ending with being potentially beaten and asleep on the floor, which I think we'd remember even more, but at least we would have given him credit for stepping in. But yeah, you're right. I do think there's an asterisk next to the GOAT status. You can't ever argue what he's accomplished and what he's did. But anybody that knows and is in the know will always know that he could have been even so much more if he could have just dialed in a little bit more and not let his life outside of the octagon be an absolute mess. Because
I disagree with that a little bit. I think some certain people, like a Mike Tyson, like Jon Jones, they need that kind of madness, and that's the way they'll always be.
Khalil Roundtree shocked the MMA world this past weekend with a huge win over former champ Jamahal Hill, and right after that victory, fans and analysts started buzzing. Could a rematch be coming between Roundtree and Alex Pereira? Their first fight was unforgettable, a full-on war that left fans craving more, and now that hunger is back. But even though the excitement is real, most experts believe Khalil probably needs one more big win before stepping up for the title shot. Whether it's against Ankalaev or even Pereira, another strong showing could put him right in line. In the meantime, Alex Pereira already has his next fight set. Scheduled for a rematch with Magomed Ankalaev this October, Pereira is promising a lot. He says this rematch will be massive, and this time he's planning to dominate from start to finish. Pereira also dropped a bit of a controversial take. He said he actually believes he won their first fight, a comment that raised a few eyebrows considering how strong Ankalaev looked in that bout. Roundtree's victory didn't just get fans talking, it lit up the entire MMA community. Josh Thompson even gave Khalil major props on his podcast. He praised Khalil for how far he's come as a fighter and how dangerous he looks in the cage now. And whether the rematch with Pereira happens soon or later, one thing is clear. Roundtree has officially put the entire division on notice, but Thompson didn't stop there. He also took a jab at the light heavyweight division as a whole. He called it the weakest division in the UFC right now. That's a bold statement. Let's hear what Josh had to say.
Who knows that he's probably one fight away I know it's a weak division. 205 pound, the heavyweight division, 185. 185 is actually stronger than the other two weight classes for once. And it being created, it's finally one of the stronger weight classes, especially over 205 and heavyweight right now. That being said, Khalil understands what's at stake. He had I wouldn't say a great performance yet, but he had a fun performance, I should say, when he fought Alex. Came up short, in that exchange, he was able to drop Alex. He was able to, show that he has something there. Coming off and beating Jamahal Hill, former 205 pound champion. That makes a lot of sense for him to go ahead and just say, hey, I'm winning this fight. Just keep picking and choosing my shots. Don't take any chances. Jamahal Hill is still dangerous. And if I'm able to connect with you, I know I'm going to put you down. And sure enough, he did that a couple times, and he had a great fight, man.
Now shifting to Ilia Topuria, and fans are seriously worried. In a recent interview with Ariel Helwani, something caught everyone's attention. At first, Ilia was his usual self, confident, intense, and taking verbal shots at just about everyone, from Balal to Paddy. That kind of talk has become normal from El Matador. But then the camera zoomed in, and fans noticed something alarming. A stitched-up cut clearly visible just above Ilia's eye. That single image sent shockwaves through the MMA community. Could this injury affect his upcoming performance at UFC 317 against Charles Oliveira? It wasn't just fans who noticed it. UFC lightweight contender Beneil Dariush also saw the footage and weighed in. He said a cut like that could seriously limit a fighter's training during the most important part of camp, especially sparring. And for someone like Ilia, who depends heavily on tough sparring to sharpen his game, that's a concern. Still, Dariush tried to calm fans down. He said the injury might not be a big deal by the time fight night comes, but he also gave a warning. People are sleeping on Charles Oliveira. Dariush said Ilia's biggest weapon might not even work this time. What did he mean? He pointed out that Ilia's not just about flashy hands, his leg kicks are extremely effective too. But Charles, he's known for shutting those leg kicks down. If that happens, one of Ilia's top tools might be taken away. That's something to think about.
It looks like a cut right over the eye that looks pretty fresh that got stitched up not long ago. I wonder how much. Yeah.
If it's already stitched up, then he'll be fine. It won't be much of an issue. Cuts like that take 5 days to heal.
Oh, really?
It takes 5 days to heal, but then you're not supposed to spar for a few weeks. So it could slow down his camp, but it shouldn't be anything dramatic. They're overlooking Charles. And Charles, if he's able to mix in his Muay Thai, what I mean, like his knees and his kicks, and he's able to use those as fakes, it's going to be a really difficult fight for Ilia. And I think people don't understand. The last 2 fights, Ilia was able to win those fights not because of his boxing, but because of his leg kicks. And Charles is very good at defending the leg kick, so it's not going to be an easy fight.
Ilia also shared something else during the interview, a potential move to welterweight. Yep, the featherweight star's thinking about going up a weight class. He didn't give out too many details, saying the UFC doesn't like when fighters leak this kind of news, but he did confirm that conversations are happening behind closed doors. And honestly, it makes sense. Ilia has made it clear that he's targeting Islam Makhachev. A move to 170 pounds could open the door for that mega fight. It's about legacy, it's about headlines, and it's about facing the best. But let's be real for a moment. Ilia moving to welterweight might only be a temporary thing. The fighters in that division are massive. And Ilia's size? It might become a serious issue. Just picture Ilia versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. Shavkat looks like a giant next to Ilia. That kind of fight would feel like watching 2 fighters from different weight classes. So if Ilia does go to 170, it'll probably be for one big super fight and then back down. But all of this depends on whether Islam can even hang on to his belt. The new welterweight champ Jack Della Maddalena is a dangerous striker with serious power. If he holds on to that title, then who knows what happens next. Thanks for watching and being a part of this journey. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for all your daily MMA updates.